Welcome back, YouTubers. Today I'm gonna show you how to mix some paint for fluid art and fluid acrylics. So I use Basics brand paint. Sometimes I use Master's Touch or Fine Touch from Hobby Lobby, but they're pretty basic, and these have really nice colors in very light hues. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how I pick my colors and chroma. Chroma matters because chroma is how your paints mix with gray and brown. And so if you'll look on the back here, right here it says lightness. I don't know if you can see it, but there's one little notch. And when you buy those with one notch, it means they won't turn into mud as much as it would say if it had several dots. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. Here, this is Master's Touch Phthalo Blue. And if you look on the back, it's an opaque and it's medium light fastness, and it has 3 dots. See those 3 dots? Versus, gosh, you can't see that. Let me see if I can get this one. Okay. There it is. It's just got 1 slash. So what happens is, if you get a bunch of these dark paints with 3 dots, 1, you're going to create some brown or gray mud. And 2, when your painting dries, it's not going to be very bright. And so I wanted to take a minute to show everybody how I pick my paint. I don't worry about the translucent versus the opaque as much. I like a little mix, but mainly it's the light fastness, because that's what makes your paintings bright after they dry. Also, if you use a better paint quality, get a better end product versus some craft paint. This is like a mid-grade, I think, here in Oklahoma. You know, you can get way better and you can get way worse. So anyways, that's how I go. This is bright aqua green, and it has 1 notch. This is a cadmium red medium hue, and it also has just 1 notch. This is a cadmium yellow medium hue, and even though it's a medium hue, its light fastness is still just 1 notch. And so that's very important. So anyways, these are the colors that we're going to mess with today, and I'm going to show you how I mix my paint. I went and got some more gloss fluid. Medium is what they're calling it now. They were just calling it gloss medium, but now it says fluid. So I think they're trying to let us know that this is for us. Isn't that fancy? Okay, so this is how I start. I use 20% paint, 20% gloss medium, and 60% Floetrol. So this is about where it is. I never weigh it or anything. I just kind of eyeball it. But about 20% paint, 20% Floetrol mixed together. Or I'm sorry, 20% paint, 20% gloss medium mixed together. And then the other 60% is going to be your Floetrol. So you got 20, 20, 20, 20, and 20. Okay, that didn't make any sense. I think that was 120. I don't know. Okay, so let's get started. These are what I use in all my colors. And every cup gets this exact recipe in it. If I'm going to use colors, then I will put this coconut milk hair serum in there. And it smells like coconuts, and it's really nice to get a whiff of it while you're stirring your paint. But every paint gets these 3, which is the gloss fluid, the acrylic paint, and the Floetrol. So let's get started with this bright aqua green. When I show you these, paint doesn't settle like that. It kind of makes a little mountain. So I just would make a little mountain up to my second 20% mark. And because you got room still left in there, you know, and then I put my gloss medium in, which I didn't open. Now, they only stock these 4 bottles. I would like to know where I could get a gallon. Also, if anybody's got any questions for me, let me know in the comments, and I will get back to you and answer anything I've missed. If you could tell me how to improve these videos, I'm truly working hard on getting the correct direction and enough lighting, but I'm artistic, I'm audio and video challenged, let's just say that. So I've filled it up with the gloss medium up to my 40% mark, and I'm going to mix those two together first. Let's give it a really good stir. Be sure to get the bottom, sides, and the cracks. I like that. So at this point, you're still, it's a fluid, but it's just not fluid enough. But this right here is your friend, because this is what gives you that honey texture of it pouring off the stick and attaching itself to itself. So you don't get chunks, you get smooth flow. So after I feel that's mixed up enough, and I go to my Floetrol, which I do use this paint strainer. I cut it off, use little clear rubber bands to attach it, and this lasts usually the whole time. I do change it out. By the time I'm done with this is super crusty, so every fresh batch gets a new one. So just fill it up with my 60% of Floetrol, and then stir. Love watching it come to the top and mix and go through all its different colors. It's very pretty. I do not use water unless I'm doing swipes, and I will gently water down my swipe paint just so it's a little bit thinner. But other than that, this is how thick it is. This is the recipe I use, and this is how I pick the colors. Chroma really matters if you want a nice, beautiful, bright paint. And it's these light fastness notches. Sometimes they're stars and sometimes they're just little, like 1 marks. But 4 would be the darkest. And I don't know that I've ever even seen anything in these brands with 4 dots or 4 slashes. Most of the time it's 1, 2, or 3. So I will mix one of the darker colors in, but I try to make sure all of my colors are pretty bright. And if I'm going to use a few dark colors like a black with a dark blue, or a dark brown with the blue, then I sure make sure that I layer the cup with the lighter colors next to it, so that you don't have just one area where it's super dark. That is beautiful. That's exactly what you want. We're going to do another one. So this one's not marked, but like I said, just squeeze some in there. Oh yeah, make a little mountain. I love it when the paint poots. Sorry guys, it's funny. 20% gloss medium. We'll fill up the little areas around our little mountain and mix it up. Gloss medium also helps all your paint to self-level. I noticed when I first started swiping and all kinds of things, it would dry flat, but it wasn't smooth. You could still see ridges, you could still see this and that. And Anne-Marie Ritterhoff is who really taught me the most about acrylic pours. She is great to watch, and I love her accent, and she's really sweet. And I used to watch all her videos. I think I might have seen probably at least 2/3 of them, and she has almost 1,000, so. I power watched Anne-Marie for the first 2 months, I think, of learning these recipes and things. Hers is very complex and archival, but I'm not at that level yet, so this is what I do. Just keep stirring and checking. You want that smooth flow. How gorgeous these two colors are with the white. Yeah. Okay, let's do another one. I'm putting all these paints in here for our palette. Here it is, over here drying. I put the coat on the back, put the coat on the front. I think I'm gonna put one more coat because I want to make sure that it's completely sealed. It's too cute. I don't want it to warp. I really want it to work out, and so I'm gonna try harder because that's where it happens. That's where the magic happens, when you try harder. 20% paint, 20% Floetrol, just kind of covering up my little mountain. Because it's a mountain, I think, you know, it kind of works itself out on the 2020. There. I was thinking about putting a little orange in here, but I think with the red, we'll probably make orange. There's no point. Yellow is really snotty sometimes. I noticed that with a green that had a lot of yellow in it also. They just have different densities, a little bit different textures. Any of this paint that's left over, I'm going to dump to make skins. I was going to show you. While we're at it, I had an idea. I'll make a bunch of skins. And I'm going to cover this. My sister-in-law Kelly gave this to me. The schoolhouse was throwing them out. And I was wanting to teach my little granddaughter some geography and show her where we are in the globe because she's highly intelligent. And so I brought them home. She's not very old. She's only 5. So I brought them home and we played with them. And now they just kind of roll around in the garage. And so I think what I'm going to do is make a globe out of the paint and see how that works. I think that'll be pretty cool. So we're going to do that also coming up. Also, if you've learned anything, like and subscribe, please. I'd appreciate it. My son-in-law said I need to remind you to like the videos because he forgets, and I do the same thing. I'll watch random videos and not hit the like button when I did like it, and you know, it helps the person out doing the YouTube if you do like it. So, like and subscribe. So now I'm going to do some white. We're going to do it again. Put your little pile in there. Fill it up with gloss. give it a stir. I'm mixing these paints today because I want them to settle and get all the air bubbles out. It's not necessary to let them sit, but there's a theory rolling around that it helps, and I feel like the devil's in the details. The more you do to help yourself and your painting, the better it's going to look. And so if there's a tip or a trick, I'm going to try it. And if I like it, I'm going to adopt it. And it's going to be something I do. But like I said, Anne-Marie taught me a lot about pouring. I also picked up tips from Marian's Nature and Gina DeLuca. Those are the three main ladies that I learned from the pouring techniques. Now, painting on the canvas, I learned from the Stay Creative. I think it's Stay Creative Painting now. Well, it's like the 10-minute paintings, but now it's Stay Creative. And he's out of Houston, and he does really nice work. He's a good teacher. And there's the white. So we have all the consistencies the same. I might add a black, but I'm not sure. You don't really need that much because the palette's not very big. But I wanted to make this video, let you know about the chroma and the light fastness. Let you know how I mixed my paints, what I used, what brands of paints I used. Now I also have something else I'll show you. When I am doing a flip cup, I will use this blaster silicone. So I take the blaster silicone, give it a shake, spray it in there, and then wipe it out 2 or 3 times with a napkin. But you still have silicone in there, down in the corners and the cracks. And what that does is, when you pour your colors that already have dimethicone in them, because like in here, I will put dimethicone. I don't want to put it in right now because I'll let the paint sit a little bit and you don't really stir it up. When I put it in the colors, I just drop 1 drop in this size. Probably 2 drops in this size. And then I have a 32-ounce cup I'm going to use for a 36 by 36. And I'll probably put, I'd say 3 good squirts, like 3 good pumps, you know, because you really got to push it down, stir it around. So I'm still going to do that one, just hasn't been the right timing yet. So coconut milk in all your colors, 1 pump for this size, or 1 drop. I never put any in my white or black. I don't know why. I don't know where I picked it up or why. It's just sometimes you get stuck in these ways, and if it works for you, if it's broke, if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know. So do what you need to do to make it happen for you, because whatever makes you feel comfortable, you're going to see it in your painting, and it's going to be more natural for you than forced. So the same thing with this cup. 20% paint, 20% gloss medium, 60% Floetrol. Okay, so like I was saying in the flip cup, I'll pour this, I'll spray this in here and wipe it out. And then I'll put my colors in, which they already have dimethicone or they don't. And what that does is, the silicone that's left in here is not very much, but it'll give you those little cells that are super multicolored. And the dimethicone will give you big cells, but they're usually only like 2 colors. So I like to use both. That way it gives you a nice balance of the tiny and the huge. So I think that's all for today. We've covered up how to make your paint, what to use, what brands I use. Chroma matters. Chroma matters. I cannot stress that enough in this type of painting, because everything dries darker than when you left it. And when you get up the next morning, all your stuff's dark. If you start with all the dark, you're just going to get darker. If you start with light, by the time you varnish it, pops right back up. So, all right, YouTubers, I sure appreciate it. Please like my video if I've helped you. Please subscribe to my channel. We've got all kinds of projects coming up. Here in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to go to Houston, and I'm going to teach you how to make homemade lemonade, how to season briskets, things like that, because I'm going down there to work, and everybody wants to know how to make lemonade, especially when it's fresh. And there's only a few ingredients, and so natural, and no preservatives, and it's a refreshing thing in the summer, so I think you guys will like that. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this, and y'all have a good day.